Hi there guys, I hope you are all well. Now I don't know whether you have heard, but Mike Tyson is planning to come out of retirement for a few exhibition fights, and we have seen some behind the scenes footage of him training and getting ready to get back in the ring, and he's looking fast, powerful and devastating. The short footage put out shows him putting together a combination, ducking under a shot and coming back with a fierce right hand, which was trademark for Mike Tyson. That kind of bobbing and weaving style, come in with those shots, always walking forward. He's never been one to really bother about what's coming back. It's about what he's throwing. He's an offensive fighter and a great offensive fighter. He's fast, he's powerful, has great movement as well. And I believe an underrated boxing IQ as well. So Mike Tyson is clearly on the road to a comeback. It's not like he's coming out of retirement to challenge Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Dillian Whyte. He is planning on coming out of retirement to do some exhibition fights and do some work for charity as well. That is what he is trying to do with this comeback. Obviously, he's not going to be challenging Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury at the age of 53, but he is looking fast, powerful and explosive on the pads. And I know the pads are something different to getting in there and fighting someone else, because ultimately the pads don't hit back. But Mike Tyson is going into exhibition fights, so hopefully it won't be all out war and slugfest, because at 53 he's not going to be able to cope with that extremely well. And he's been retired 15, 16, maybe even 17 years. So there are other factors as well as his age, the timing and the movement and the positioning. All of those things start to dwindle when you stay out of the ring for too long. You see fighters who take 2 years out and their timing and everything's gone. It's all off because they haven't been timing their punches. That is what sparring is about, getting your timing, getting your distance. And 17 years out the ring, that's going to come quite difficult for Mike Tyson. And I don't see it as a bad thing, Mike Tyson coming out of retirement. I think it's a good thing, because I think that that's an itch he needs to scratch. I think that he wants to get back in the ring. And if he does have that urge there to do it, he needs to get on and do it. And exhibition fights is a good way to do that, because going in there in a full professional bout against a top heavyweight or even a fringe level heavyweight, because he lost to Kevin McBride in his final fight of his career. And as I said, that was nearly 20 years ago. So ultimately, he's not the same fighter he was in his prime. He's never going to be at 53. So exhibitions is a good way if he wants to come back. I mean, no one really wants to see a fighter come back after all that time. But if they must come back, if that's what they really want to do, then exhibitions is the way to do it. And that is what Mike Tyson is going to do. So this footage of Mike Tyson training and preparing, getting ready for his comeback. Obviously, at the moment, there are no boxing fights on. And his comeback won't be against anyone of any note, and it shouldn't be. So his comeback won't be against a big name, but Mike Tyson can always help the sport of boxing. He's a big name. People love to watch Mike Tyson. They like to listen to him talk as well. So him getting back in the ring will definitely benefit boxing. Will it benefit Mike Tyson? Mentally, I believe it will, because he has been thinking about getting back in the ring or thinking back to the days of Iron Mike Tyson. Maybe it's just an itch that he needs to scratch. Mike Tyson is looking fast and powerful on the pads. That combination he put together was put together with speed and power, and obviously his positioning as well. He did lean over a little bit when he threw that right hand. That right hand at the end, he leaned over his lead foot, which is never a good sign in boxing. But again, he's 53 years old. It's going to be an exhibition. He's not challenging for a world title. So hopefully Mike Tyson won't be taking too much back. Obviously, we don't really want to see someone, as I said, come back after so long. But if it's what Mike Tyson wants to do, it's what Mike Tyson wants to do. And he has to do what he thinks right. As I said, he needs to get his timing back though. He needs to get his speed and he needs to get his movement, his positioning. Which that combination, showing that he still had his speed, still had his power. Maybe he needs to work on his distance and timing a little bit. But ultimately, Mike Tyson is still Mike Tyson. He's an older version, but he is still Iron Mike Tyson. And coming back into the ring for an exhibition fight, maybe he can finally have closure and move on from Iron Mike Tyson to the Mike Tyson we know now. And maybe after a few exhibitions, Mike Tyson can finally leave Iron Mike Tyson behind. Maybe he will finally have closure. But anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Mike Tyson is putting together some vicious combinations in preparation for his comeback in some exhibition bouts. Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below, click the thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.